right, guys, so yes, as you did see in the box, we did get the camshaft locking tool and the top dead center locking tool. So today we are going to do the timing belt on this thing. I'm going to try and make this as informative as possible. I don't want to officially declare it as a how-to just because this is my first time doing it on this engine. I'm probably not going to have as many cool tips and tricks as some other people, but we're going to do it. Let's do the timing belt. All right, guys, so I kind of got ahead of myself. I was kind of working here and kind of forgot to pick up the camera. I apologize. But what I did was I moved the crank pulley down here. Sometimes you got to kind of wear away at some of the rust and stuff that builds up on yours. I had to do it on mine, but you'll find the marks that line up. You can find your marks, and you'll want to do that with your timing cover still on the vehicle to make sure everything lines up there. But the one thing that you'll notice is this will not go in unless you are in top dead center. It's these holes are different sizes, as well as the plugs on the piece of metal that go in. So if this isn't fitting, don't force it. You do have to make some pretty micro adjustments with a wrench on there. You kind of got to go really slow to make sure this fits in. But once it fits in nice and good, then you know that you're locked in place. And you can see your marks where they line up. They kind of line up with this, the one tensioner right here. But once I have this, now I'm going to go ahead and get under the car, and I'm going to attempt, it seems like it's in a pretty tough spot, but I'm going to attempt to put the locking tool in the crankshaft. So we're going to get under the car and do that. All right, guys, so I'm like halfway under the car now. I'm on the driver's side of the car. If you can kind of see for reference, you got your, I think this is your AC right here. You're gonna come down under here. There's your engine mount. It's to the right of the engine mount. And it's really, like I said, it's really tough for me to get this on camera. But kind of up under there, I'm gonna zoom in. It's that bolt there. It's either a 6 or an 8. I think it's an 8mm Allen. You got to get it up in there and pop that out. And then if you have everything top dead center and in the correct position, you should just be able to thread the lock in there. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm not going to really be able to film me taking that out, but you know where it is. So right there, coming back out, there's your engine mount. There's the AC, so you can kind of just get a good idea of where you're going in. You can kind of still see it up in there. But yep, so we're going to do that. All right, guys, so after about a half hour, yeah, seriously, it did take that long, I got the plug out in the area that I'm going to put the tool. This is a tool. Pretty cool. The configuration that I found the easiest to get to slip everything past the subframe and get some good leverage on it so you don't strip this thing out. I use one of these longer hex tools. This is from the Harbor Freight. And with the, what would this be, a 3/8 to the 3/8 converter on there. And that was like, it gave it a little bit of wiggle to get in there. It was like perfect length, so I wasn't hitting the subframe. So I tried like all the different, like I tried doing like the standard key. I had the smaller with like some extensions. Nothing was really working. This gave it just enough play that I was able to slip it in there and get that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this screwed in, tightened down, and then we're gonna keep moving on that timing belt. All right, so once you get that in there, the best way to know that you have it in there right is pull that bar back off. Pull that bar back off the camshaft. So technically everything would move freely. Go ahead and put this back on the crank. It shouldn't budge. Like this is rock solid, like nothing's moving either way. And then you should just be able to slap that bar right back on. And then you are locked down. Locked down the way it should be. When you have one of these new ones, I did notice like the few times I've pulled it back off, it is a little bit tougher to get it back on, but it should just kind of slide back into place. So there, you know, everything's solid. Everything's where it's supposed to be, and it's not going to be slipping out once we start taking stuff off. Honestly, out of everything so far, that was probably the hardest, getting that thing in down there. But if you have the right tool configuration, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Mine wasn't very tight. It looked pretty rusty. Like if I was looking at it from the outside, it seemed pretty rough, but some oil and stuff in there, I'm guessing, from the crank. So let's keep moving. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull this crank pulley off of here. I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen of exactly what I'm dealing with right now. The bolts have basically completely deteriorated. So I'm really gonna take my time with this. I'm gonna tap in the bit every time with a hammer, a good bit, as much clearance as I have, it should be fine. But hopefully I'm gonna be able to get all these out of here. But as you can see, they are pretty much destroyed. So I'm gonna hopefully, I don't know how many, there's a lot that go around this ring right here, and that holds this in place. That's where the timing belt, it's behind here, it loops back around the bottom on the crankshaft. So let's see if we can tear into this and get this off of here. All right, so I got all the bolts out of the crankshaft pulley. They were Allen keys, but honestly, they look like circles. I don't really know how I got those out, just the hammer and some patience, but it's kind of stuck on there, so I'm gonna go grab a mallet and see if I can't bash it off of there. All right, so I was finally able to get off the crank pulley. It took a while. I had to use a hammer to kind of tap around the edges to get it to break loose. There was so much buildup there. I mean, you guys saw those bolts. There was definitely some serious buildup from this thing sitting outside for so long. But I had to remove the other piece of the torque dampener, and that also contained the pulley and tensioner for the serpentine belt. So that came out, and that opened up a lot. That opened up, you see you have your timing belt, the tensioner roller for the timing belt. So that opened up a lot of stuff. So I think next I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. Going to cut tension to the timing belt, and we should be able to pull the timing belt off the car then after that. I might pull this lock off while everything's locked with the belt still in place and pull these out, because these are gonna be a little bit hard to get with this cam lock kept in place. And got these idler pulleys off there. These things were in rough shape. Definitely would not have felt comfortable running those for any much more longer than up and down the driveway, but they are authentic Audi, so that's cool. All right, so next you're gonna put a 8mm Allen socket onto a breaker bar. You're gonna put it into the top of that tensioner. And you're just gonna pull some pressure this way. And you're gonna just slowly pull pressure, slowly pull it, and it's gonna loosen the belt up. So there it is, loosened up. Once you pull it, you do have to put a good bit of pressure on it. A constant pressure is the key there. And that, it moves that way enough to where you can slip this off of the back. So now we're gonna just continue with pulling the rest of the belt off and get all this stuff replaced. All right, we're moving right along here. We got the tensioner pulley, the tensioner, and then there's an idler roller that goes underneath the water pump here. That came out, and then we were able to slip it all off of the way. I still have it on that one. I'm gonna we'll obviously eventually pull it off. And then right now I'm gonna work on getting this water pump out, because we got a pretty clear shot. I'm gonna pull the water pump. And there it is. Water pump has been removed. We're getting down to pretty much a bare front of the block here. Before I put everything together, I'm gonna go over the outer surface of this front part here with a brass brush and clean up some of that oxidation, really make it look good. We have the old water pump, gasket included. You can see it's pretty old, or it might just have sat for a long time. Everything on the inside seems pretty decent, still spins pretty freely. And then we got the new one, nice and shiny with new gasket. Like I said, I'm gonna clean up the front of this engine here a little bit before I start putting everything back together, just to make everything look real nice under there, even though you'll probably never see it once the car comes back out of service position. So we got the new water pump on there. I'm currently in the process of torquing these down to 11 foot-pounds. That is the spec, or 132 inch-pounds. I'm using an inch-pound torque wrench. So go ahead and get all those bolts torqued down to either 132 inch-pounds or 11 foot-pounds. All right, guys, so we got the water pump torqued down. We got the new thermostat put in behind the thermostat housing. Now I think I'm gonna start webbing the timing belt back up and try and get these cam sprockets back in proper position so we're in time. So belt in place behind the cam lock, and the cam lock is fitted back in its position. We know the bottom end of the engine is still in time because we have the crank at top dead center with the lock in. It's the only way the lock will go in. And the only way this will go in is if these cams are at top dead center as well. So we know we're in time. We have the belt behind, like I said. I'm just gonna start putting everything back together and getting this thing webbed up properly. All right, guys, I think this is the moment we've finally been waiting for. I have everything back into place, timing belt webbed up, top dead center indicated by the cam locking tool. Everything's nice and snug where it needs to be. Tensioner is on. Tensioner is on. This other tensioner is set to where it's nice and snug there. I think my next step, I'm gonna pull out the crank locking tool, and then we're gonna pull this cam locking tool off, and then we're gonna give it a couple rotations, make sure everything's running nice and smoothly. And I think that'll wrap up today's video. All right, guys, so all the locks have been removed. I've given the engine a few rotations, and everything seems to be moving pretty smoothly on the inside. No hard spots when I'm trying to pull on it. Nothing seems like it's clanking together. All the points are still lining up, so I'd say this is a pretty successful run. It's gonna be the moment of truth whenever we start the car from the first time with both the transmission and the timing belt being done. There's gonna be a lot of things changed, so hopefully the first start goes good when the first start happens. But that's it for today's video. Next video is going to be on the transmission. We're gonna get the bottom end of that transmission put back together with a new valve body, and it's gonna be time to actually run the car. And we're actually, with the new alternator and everything, fixing the coolant lines, we should be able to actually do some serious testing on this thing and see if we can't not find any more problems with it, or if it's gonna be completely sorted. I'm hopeful that that's gonna be the case, but stay tuned, guys, and I will talk to you in the next video.